time off request and approval. And this feature applies to web and mobile. So I'll be showing it on both. There is a time off report here. And this time off report is new React time off that does what the legacy PTO report did, plus a bunch of new things that it didn't do. And I'll be showing this in more detail. I'm going to hop over to the mobile to see, we can see on here as well. And we'll pull up the settings. In the settings companies, there is a new setting for turning off time off requests. If you want to turn off this new feature, you can turn it off. So this feature that I'm introducing to you is something that can be toggled entirely off. From the mobile clients, there is now a new section in a lot of places throughout the app, which is to view and request time off. If I go to the view and request time off functionality, this will take me to the time off report, and there is a new button that is the request time off button. The request time off button allows me as an employee to ask for time off to be created. I'm going to go ahead and show what this would look like. If, for example, I wanted to take off Monday, July 5th, and for the type, it's going to be a holiday, and it's going to be paid in this case. So I'm going to go ahead and create this. And now I can see my requests on the request tab. And this is awaiting approval. The awaiting approval will continue to be that way until it gets approved. And so you can always see your requests, and you can always make more requests. And before it's approved, if I go and I want to actually make a change, it's like, oh, it's the wrong date or something. I can still go in and make changes to the request before it's approved. And I'll show you some of the other options for after it's been approved. You can create a new one. But let's take a look at over here on the web. So on the web, if there are any pending time off requests, which there are now, I just did a refresh. This tells me that there's time off requests for me to view. And so I can now know that there's things I need to check for the time off requests. I come here and I can choose to approve or deny this request from employee Charles Hart for the date, pay type, all this information is here. I'm going to go ahead and approve my time off for the 5th. And this lets me know what's going to happen when I approve this. If I had many of these, I could check the boxes and do like a group approval and do bulk at once. So this kind of lets you know what's going to happen. And I'm going to approve. When I do this, there's no pending time off requests. I'm essentially done. I can go to the time off report and look at that. And what has happened now is we've created the time off given the information that was requested and that was asked for. If I go to the time off requests, there are different statuses. If I go to the processed, if I want to select the old historical ones, like the ones that have already been approved, they go into the processed report. So generally the time off ones is showing the ones that are awaiting approval. You're kind of working your way through all of them to make sure that you've got them all. You want this to be empty. But if you ever do need the record, we've got the full record of the time offs. And you've also got other filters for either by employee or by their status, approved or denied, the pay, unpaid, the type. If you want to filter down all of these, they can all be filtered down. So I'm going to jump back over to the time off, and I'm also going to choose the filter to the employee and hit apply. And we see that I've got my Monday, July 5th time off right there, PTO, and good to go. Hopping back over to the phone, there's a couple other places to kind of be aware of. If I go to the supervisor tools, I'm going to go ahead and add myself as well as a couple other people. And hit done. We have the option now for the time off report. So the supervisor tools will show all of the upcoming time off. It'll show previous time off, and it will also show requests. And in this case, there's no pending request, otherwise they would be pending here. But it does have the history of all the time off that has been requested for my employees that I can see here. And if I come in here, I can see that that was approved. I can see what it was. I can do all sorts of things there. So I'm going to go ahead and actually make another request just to kind of show what this is looking like. But I'm going to do it from the kiosk mode. So I'll launch the kiosk mode and come in here, and I'll come into my name, and I'm going to go ahead and clock in. Let's try this one. Okay, I'm going to actually go to view the timer. And from the kiosk mode, if you're looking at your timer, you can now request time off. So when I press that, I go to my request time off area. I can see all my time off information, and I can go to request time off. Same way as before. I actually want to take also, I want to take July 6th off too. Life's too short. We'll do type holiday, and yeah, I want to be paid, and done. Okay, now I can close that. I'm going to exit the kiosk. Exit kiosk mode, and I'm going to go back to the supervisor tools. Now, supervisor tools, if I go to the time off report, I now see that I've got a pending request. And so from the mobile, if I would like, and I have permission, then I can approve the requests. And if I click on this, I can look at it, see the details, and I can approve or deny the request. I'm going to go ahead and deny this one. Charles, we don't have the 6th off. You're going to have to work. So we'll deny that. Here, when I give the deny, this message is going to be visible to the employee that requested it. So in this case, I'm like denying myself, but you can imagine how that'd be different. So come here and see the requests are denied. Now, as an employee, if I'm ever wanting to look at my requests and see like what's going on there, I can come here and I can look at my requests, and I can see that it was denied, and I can look and see the reason it was answered. I can see who responded with it, the status, when it was answered, all of the information you would need to kind of understand what actually happened. It's all contained in that view.